Hurricane Helene, how our inner reality shapes outer events. While climate change and physical factors certainly play a major role in the formation and behavior of hurricanes like Helene, the Seth material suggests that our collective and individual beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and expectations also contribute significantly to shaping such events. This video will explore how our inner psychological and psychic environment interacts with the outer physical environment to co-create weather phenomena and natural disasters, using Hurricane Helene as a case study. The living picture of the world. Seth states that the living picture of the world grows within the mind. The world as it appears to you is like a three-dimensional painting in which each individual takes a hand. Each color, each line that appears within it has first been painted within a mind, and only then does it materialize without. This means that our inner reality, our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and expectations, forms a kind of blueprint or template that then manifests in physical reality. We are not passive observers of an objective external world, but active participants in an interconnected system where inner and outer realities constantly influence and shape each other. In the case of Hurricane Helene, this suggests that the storm is not just a product of atmospheric conditions and climate patterns, but also a physical manifestation of our collective psyche, our shared beliefs, fears, and expectations about hurricanes, natural disasters, and humanity's relationship with nature. The interconnected psyche and physical world. Seth emphasizes that there is no effect in the exterior world that does not spring from an inner source. There is no motion that does not first occur within the mind. He goes on to say that all consciousness creates the world rising out of feeling tone. It is a natural product of what your consciousness is. This interconnection between psyche and physical reality operates on both individual and collective levels. Each person's thoughts and emotions contribute to the overall psychic environment, which then interacts with the physical environment. At the same time, mass beliefs and the world's soul or collective unconscious also play a major role in shaping large-scale events like hurricanes. Seth states, "The body of the earth can be said to have its own soul or mind, whichever term you prefer." Using this analogy, the mountains and oceans, the valleys and rivers, and all natural phenomena spring from the earth's soul, as all events and all manufactured objects appear from the inner mind or soul of mankind. In this view, Hurricane Helene emerges from the interplay between the Earth's soul, the inherent consciousness and self-organizing principles of the natural world, and humanity's collective psyche, beliefs, and expectations. How beliefs shape reality. A key principle in Seth's philosophy is that you create your own reality. Our beliefs about the nature of existence, ourselves, and the world around us act as filters and organizers of our experience, attracting events and circumstances that validate those beliefs. Seth explains, "Your experience in the world of physical matter flows outward from the center of your inner psyche. Then you perceive this experience. Exterior events, circumstances, and conditions are meant as a kind of living feedback." In relation to Hurricane Helene, this means that our individual and collective beliefs about hurricanes, climate change, and humanity's vulnerability or resilience in the face of natural disasters all contribute to shaping the storm's formation, path, intensity, and impact. Some relevant beliefs that may be influencing Helene include: belief number 1. Hurricanes are becoming more frequent and intense due to climate change. Belief number 2. The Atlantic hurricane season is a time of danger and potential destruction. Belief number 3. Humans are at the mercy of nature's fury. Belief number 4. Technology and early warning systems can help us predict and mitigate hurricane damage. Belief number 5. Climate change is spiraling out of control. Belief number 6. Nature is retaliating against humanity's exploitation of the environment. Whether these beliefs are objectively true or not is less important than the fact that they exist in the collective psyche and thus exert an influence on physical reality. Expectations and probabilities. Seth introduces the concept of probabilities, the idea that multiple versions of events exist simultaneously, and our beliefs and expectations help determine which probability we experience. He states, "You are hardly at the mercy of a reality, therefore, that exists apart from yourself or is thrust upon you. You are so intimately connected with the physical events composing your life experience that often you cannot distinguish between the seemingly material occurrences and the thoughts, expectations, and desires that gave them birth." This suggests that multiple versions of Hurricane Helene exist as probabilities, some where it intensifies and causes major damage, others where it weakens and dissipates, and countless variations in between. Our collective expectations and focus of attention influence which of these probabilities manifests in our physical experience. Media coverage, weather forecasts, and public discourse about Helene all play a role in shaping these expectations. If the prevailing belief is that Helene will be catastrophic, this increases the likelihood of that outcome. Conversely, a calm, prepared attitude may help manifest a less severe version of the storm. The role of emotions and feeling tone. Seth emphasizes the importance of emotions and what he calls feeling tone in shaping our reality. Feelings and emotions emerge into reality in certain specific ways. Thoughts appear, growing on the bed already laid. The emotional climate surrounding Hurricane Helene, fear, anxiety, excitement, awe of nature's power, creates an energetic foundation that influences the storm's physical manifestation. Collective emotions can intensify or diminish weather patterns. This doesn't mean we should ignore hurricane warnings or suppress natural concern for safety, but it does suggest that cultivating a balanced emotional state, respect for nature's power, combined with confidence in human resilience, may help create the most favorable outcome. Personal and mass events. Seth distinguishes between personal events that primarily affect an individual and mass events that impact large numbers of people. He sees mass events as serving important psychological purposes for the species and reflecting the overall state of the collective psyche. Regarding natural disasters specifically, Seth states, "There is a biological and psychic cooperation that underlies all such events, and in that light, the raging storm is no more violent than the birth of a child." This implies that Hurricane Helene as a mass event serves some purpose in human psychological and spiritual evolution. It may be a catalyst for addressing climate change and humanity's relationship with nature, an opportunity for communities to come together and demonstrate resilience, a way of releasing pent-up tension in the collective psyche, a reflection of turbulent emotions and beliefs in society at large. Seth encourages us to look for the deeper meaning in such events rather than seeing them as senseless destruction or punishment. The point of power is in the present. A crucial aspect of Seth's teachings is that we always have the power to change our beliefs and thus influence the reality we experience. He emphasizes that the point of power is in the present. This means that even as Hurricane Helene approaches, our current thoughts, beliefs, and expectations are shaping its ongoing development and impact. We are not helpless victims, but co-creators of the event. Some ways we can exercise this power in the present moment include consciously examining our beliefs about hurricanes and choosing more empowering perspectives, visualizing positive outcomes and the storm weakening, dissipating, focusing on human resilience and community strength rather than potential destruction, sending thoughts of peace and calm to the storm system itself, taking practical preparedness actions from a place of confidence rather than fear, the multidimensional self and probable realities. Seth presents a model of the self as multidimensional, existing across multiple probable realities simultaneously. He states, "The psyche is not male or female, but a bank from which sexual affiliations are drawn. Similarly, the psyche contains all probable versions of events like Hurricane Helene. In a sense, we are experiencing all possible versions of the hurricane across different dimensions of the self. This multidimensional perspective can help reduce fear and anxiety about any single outcome. It reminds us that on some level, we have already experienced and survived the worst possible scenario, as well as enjoyed the best possible outcome, practical implications, and responsible action." It's important to note that Seth's philosophy does not advocate ignoring physical reality or failing to take practical precautions. Rather, it encourages us to recognize the interaction between inner and outer realities so we can act more consciously and effectively. In the case of Hurricane Helene, this means 1. Stay informed about the storm's development through official channels. 2. Take all recommended safety precautions and evacuation orders seriously. 3. Prepare emergency supplies and plans. 4. And simultaneously work with your beliefs, thoughts, and emotions to create the most positive outcome possible. We can be physically prepared while also maintaining an empowered, balanced psychological state. This holistic approach is likely to yield the best results. Consciousness units, CUs, the bridge from the inner self to the creation of the outer world. Based on the Seth material, here are some key points about how Seth's concept of consciousness units, CUs, could potentially affect weather. 1. Seth describes CUs as the fundamental building blocks of all reality, including physical matter and events. They are units of consciousness that contain within themselves the potential for all possible manifestations. 2. CUs respond to and are shaped by consciousness, beliefs, expectations, and emotions, both individual and collective. 3. Weather patterns and events emerge from the interactions and organizations of CUs, influenced by the mass beliefs and psychic atmosphere of humanity. 4. The inner reality of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions helps form the framework for physical events like weather. As Seth states, there is no effect in the exterior world that does not spring from an inner source. 5. Mass events like major storms or weather patterns reflect the overall psychic state of humanity and serve psychological, spiritual purposes for the species. 6. Individuals and groups can potentially influence weather patterns through their focused beliefs, expectations, and emotional energy, though this would typically happen unconsciously. 7. The Earth itself has its own consciousness that interacts with human consciousness in shaping weather and other natural phenomena. 8. Probable realities exist for different weather possibilities, and which one manifests depends partly on the choices and focus of consciousness. 9. Weather is not just a physical process, but emerges from the interplay between inner and outer realities, with CUs bridging the two. 10. By changing beliefs and emotional states, humans may be able to influence weather patterns to some degree, though Seth cautions against trying to forcefully control nature. The key idea is that consciousness and physical reality are deeply interconnected through CUs, so our inner states play a role in shaping outer events like weather and other mass events in subtle but important ways. However, weather also follows its own natural patterns that have existed eternally, and that shouldn't be interfered with carelessly. Final thoughts. While climate change and physical factors clearly play a major role in hurricane formation and behavior, the Seth material suggests that our beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and expectations also contribute significantly to shaping such events. By recognizing our role as co-creators of reality, we can approach Hurricane Helene and all of life's challenges with greater awareness, responsibility, and creative power. As we track Helene's development, we can remain conscious of how our individual and collective psyche is interacting with the physical storm system. We can choose to focus on positive outcomes, human resilience, and opportunities for growth and unity in the face of adversity. Ultimately, Seth's perspective invites us to see ourselves not as helpless victims of nature's fury, but as integral parts of a living, conscious universe in which inner and outer realities are intimately connected. By working with this connection consciously, we open up new possibilities for creating a safer, more harmonious world. Mental exercise. Influencing Hurricane Helene. This exercise is designed to help you work consciously with your beliefs, emotions, and expectations regarding Hurricane Helene. Remember that the point of power is in the present moment. 1. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie comfortably and take several deep, calming breaths. 2. Visualize Hurricane Helene as you understand it currently. See it from a satellite view, spinning over the ocean. 3. Now imagine you can zoom in and see the internal structure of the storm. Notice the energy patterns, the air and water molecules in motion. 4. As you observe, become aware of your own thoughts and emotions about the hurricane. Notice any fear, anxiety, or excitement without judgment. 5. Imagine that your consciousness can merge with the storm system. Feel yourself becoming one with the swirling winds and rain. 6. From this merge perspective, send thoughts of peace, calm, and harmony into the storm structure. Visualize the wind and rain gradually becoming less intense. 7. Picture the hurricane breaking apart into scattered rain showers that bring nourishing water to areas that need it without causing damage. 8. See coastal communities prepared and resilient, people coming together to support each other with confidence and compassion. 9. Hold this positive vision for a few minutes, really feeling the emotions of relief, gratitude, and human solidarity. 10. Slowly withdraw your awareness back to your physical body, knowing that you have contributed to creating a more positive probability for Hurricane Helene's outcome. 11. Take a few more deep breaths and open your eyes when ready. Remember, this exercise is not a substitute for physical preparation, but a complementary practice to help align your inner reality with the most positive possible outcome. Repeat daily or as often as you feel drawn to do so while Hurricane Helene is active.